Welcome to Agenda Edina, a news program summarizing the actions taken at City Hall that affect you most. I'm your host, Dorothea Marty. Braemar Park is the likely site of a long-considered sports dome. Last year, a group of Edina residents looking to develop an indoor sports facility for recreational and competitive athletic activities came forward with their ideas. A working group of the park board was formed and determined that there is significant community interest in the construction of a sports dome. Members also determined that due to limited field space in Edina, it's in the community's best interest to build one in a location that results in the addition of an athletic field that can be used throughout the year. The desired solution is a new rectangular-shaped artificial turf field with an inflatable dome over it during the winter months. Over the course of the summer, the working group studied possible locations for the sports dome. Members found that the Braemar soccer field is the least expensive of those evaluated and provides the best access to staff resources and parking. However, a sports dome at Braemar would not result in an additional athletic field for summer use. Some argue it actually causes a loss of a field because the current natural grass field at Braemar is large enough to accommodate multiple athletic events when divided in half and played the width of the field. City staff and representatives of athletic associations have worked to come up with a sort of field swap. The Edina Football and Lacrosse Association seem willing to move off of Lewis Park fields to create more space for the soccer club. If a dome was built at Braemar, football and lacrosse would move from Lewis and would have priority use of the new turf field there. They would also continue to use fields at Pamela Park. Staff will study the fields at Lewis Park to determine if one of the fields could be widened to recreate the Braemar Arena athletic field width for the soccer club.
It's certainly a good situation for both football and soccer. Giving soccer a large natural grass venue is certainly ideal. It also helps us to at least consider our field resting policy that we've been utilizing at Lewis Park. We have been resting one field at Lewis because football is really tough on natural grass fields. So if we were able to take them off of Lewis and move them over to the Braemar field site, we would potentially be able to eliminate the field rest at Lewis.
The consulting team of the Cunningham Group, Anderson Johnson Associates, and Park and Recreation Consultants will complete a site feasibility study of the Braemar soccer field. Edina city officials and residents prevailed at a meeting of the Metropolitan Airports Commission last month when they asked the Minneapolis-St. Paul International Airport operators to delay action on proposed navigation changes over the community. Performance-based navigation procedures are being considered by the Federal Aviation Administration for implementation at the MSP airport. Under their proposal, flights would be concentrated into less diffused and more narrow bands coming into and departing the airport. The result of the recommendation was concentrated flights north and west of the Minnesota River over southwest Minneapolis and Edina. City leaders learned of the proposal just a few weeks before the MAC was scheduled to take action. Along with residents, they urged MAC officials and members of its Noise Oversight Committee to delay action until after those at Edina could be better informed of the impacts.
One of the reasons we're here today is that we didn't have afforded to us the same level of interaction and education time that other communities have in this process.
City Manager Scott Neal and Mayor Jim Hovland argued that the City of Edina was not given the same opportunity to learn about the issue as other communities impacted by aviation noise, such as Minneapolis, Richfield, Eagan, Mendota Heights, and Apple Valley. The MAC engaged in outreach in those communities, including meeting with city officials, holding public meetings, and publishing notices in local newspapers.
And I think from an egalitarian standpoint, Edinans are more interested in sharing the pain rather than concentrating the pain on a couple of specific tracks, where airplanes would relentlessly run down those tracks over Edina every 5 to 10 minutes all day long with a frequency that we've never seen before. So we urge you to take a careful look at this and determine that we should wait. We can do better than this as a community, especially with the technologies that are available. Thank you.
The MAC approved the proposed navigational changes on departures and arrivals at MSP, except for arrivals and departures on runways 30R and 30L, which are the two runways that impact Edina the most. Navigation changes south of the Minnesota River were approved. The effect of this decision is that the fears Edina residents had about significant changes in aviation noise will be delayed by at least 18 to 24 months. City staff will talk with MAC and FAA officials about when and how the engagement process can begin in Edina. A local developer hopes a new coffee shop will jolt more activity at Centennial Lakes Plaza. Last month, Mid-America Real Estate received approvals to build a Starbucks coffee shop with a drive-through window and outdoor seating area within the parking lot of Centennial Lakes Plaza closest to Old Navy.
The unique thing about this, I think, is Starbucks adapting the existing architecture that we have here already. So all the same stonework and brickwork, and we'll incorporate an outdoor patio for them as well. So the drive-through, outdoor patio, and the sidewalk, that all seem to come together nicely for us.
We're thrilled about having Starbucks here. It's going to be a very good traffic generator for the shopping center. It's got a great location, great visibility right off of France Avenue. We've got a lot of new activity at the shopping center with several new tenants that have been added in the last 2 years, including Whole Foods. So this is just another great addition.
There are other Starbucks locations in Edina at Grandview Heights, 50th and France, Galleria, and inside Macy's at Southdale and Target. Typically, the job of a police officer is to enforce the laws, not transgress them. But last month, some members of the Edina Police Department saw fit to break their own rules by suspending facial hair restrictions and adopting a more rugged appearance. Edina 16's Natalie Gage has more.
Our policy prohibits anything going beyond the corners of the lips with a mustache for men.
Recently, the city of Edina might have noticed a more hirsute police force working its streets.
I think professionally people might be nervous to ask me if that's regular or normal or what's going on with the facial hair.
Traditionally, the mustache is a symbol of masculinity, but during the month of November, the mo isn't just about machismo.
Movember is something that's spreading worldwide that's to bring awareness to men's health issues such as testicular cancer and prostate cancer and other men's health issues. What we do is we grow hair on our face is to kind of be walking billboards.
It's important to me because I do know some people that have had this or some of these men's health issues and some people around here and their families, so it's good to get the word out there.
And the Edina Police Department does have a vested interest in promoting men's health awareness because earlier this year, Edina lost one of its own when Steve Stroh lost his battle with multiple myeloma.
Once Steve passed away, we had felt so helpless as Steve went through this battle. And this allows us an avenue not to feel helpless any longer. We can do something that will bring early awareness or at least encourage people to get to see their healthcare professional.
The health concerns of a male colleague or loved one is an issue that crosses gender lines. And as such, Movember participation is high among both the sexes.
Men's health does matter to me because I have so many men in my life. Men don't traditionally talk about their health or talk about these issues. So I think it's great to get the awareness of men's health issues out there.
And although the demands of Movember might seem to favor the men, one can never be too sure.
I think I might just take like an eyebrow pencil or something and do something like that.
I'm actually just trying to get some facial hair, being a little follically challenged in that area.
I'm Natalie Gage, Edina 16.
Movember has become a worldwide movement since its inception in Australia. It has since raised more than $300 million and has had over 1.9 million participants. I hope you're enjoying all this holiday season has to offer. Thank you for watching this episode of Agenda Edina. I'm your host, Dorothea Marty.